For decades, we've been told that walking 10,000 steps daily is the golden standard for senior fitness. But what if I told you that this popular belief is not only outdated, but potentially ineffective for those over 75? What if there's a single movement that delivers more health benefits than hours of walking, backed by surgical research and designed specifically for the aging body? I'm here today not as a doctor prescribing medication, but as a wellness advocate sharing groundbreaking research that challenges everything we thought we knew about senior exercise. The movement I'm about to reveal has been quietly revolutionizing rehabilitation centers and surprising orthopedic surgeons with its remarkable results. This isn't about complicated routines or expensive equipment. It's about understanding how the aging body actually responds to movement and working with those changes rather than against them. The truth is, the 10,000 steps recommendation was never based on scientific research for seniors. It originated from a 1960s Japanese marketing campaign for a pedometer called Manpo-K, which translates to 10,000 steps meter. For younger adults, this arbitrary number became a convenient fitness goal, but for seniors over 75, it presents unique challenges that can actually compromise health rather than improve it. Let me explain what happens to your body when you focus solely on step counting after age 75. Your cardiovascular system, while still capable of improvement, responds differently to sustained low-intensity exercise. Your joints, particularly the knees and hips, bear repetitive stress that can accelerate cartilage wear rather than strengthen supporting structures. Most importantly, the muscle fibers you need most for daily function and fall prevention aren't activated optimally through walking alone. Research from the American College of Sports Medicine reveals that seniors lose approximately 3 to 8% of muscle mass per decade after age 30, with acceleration after 75. Walking, while beneficial for cardiovascular health, primarily engages slow-twitch muscle fibers. However, the muscle fibers responsible for quick reactions, balance recovery, and functional strength are the fast-twitch fibers that walking doesn't adequately stimulate. Furthermore, the repetitive forward motion of walking doesn't address the multi-directional movement patterns essential for preventing falls. Your body needs to maintain strength and coordination in all planes of movement, forward and backward, side to side, and rotational. A step-counting approach neglects these crucial movement patterns, leaving you vulnerable to the very incidents that walking is supposed to prevent. The postural challenges that develop with age also aren't addressed through walking. Years of sitting, coupled with natural spinal changes, create forward head posture and rounded shoulders that walking can actually reinforce rather than correct. This perpetuates the cycle of functional decline that many seniors experience despite maintaining active walking routines. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. Orthopedic surgeons began noticing something remarkable in their post-operative patients. Those who performed a specific movement pattern during rehabilitation recovered faster, maintained better balance, and reported higher functional capacity than those following traditional walking programs. This observation led to controlled studies that would challenge the entire foundation of senior fitness recommendations. The movement that emerged from this research is called the functional squat progression, and it's been quietly transforming senior health outcomes in ways that hours of walking simply cannot match. Before you dismiss this as too challenging, let me explain how this movement is modified and progressed to meet the needs of every senior, regardless of current fitness level. The functional squat progression begins with the most basic human movement pattern, sitting down and standing up. This fundamental action, which you perform multiple times daily, contains all the elements necessary for comprehensive strength, balance, and functional improvement. When performed with proper technique and progressive challenge, it becomes the single most effective movement for senior health and longevity. Here's what makes this movement so powerful for those over 75. First, it engages every major muscle group in your lower body simultaneously, including the quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves. Unlike walking, which uses these muscles sequentially and at relatively low intensity, the squat pattern requires coordinated strength from all these muscles working together. This coordination is exactly what your body needs for real-world activities like getting up from chairs, climbing stairs, or recovering from a stumble. The movement also activates your core stabilizing muscles in a functional way that walking cannot replicate. As you lower into the squat position, your deep abdominal muscles, back extensors, and pelvic floor muscles must work together to maintain spinal stability under load. This activation strengthens the muscular corset that protects your spine and maintains upright posture throughout daily activities. But perhaps most importantly, the squat progression challenges your balance and proprioception in ways that dramatically improve fall prevention. As you move through the squat pattern, your body must constantly adjust to changing centers of gravity, stimulating the neural pathways responsible for balance reactions. This neurological training is far more effective than the steady-state balance challenge of walking. The cardiovascular benefits are equally impressive. Research shows that performing squats elevates heart rate more effectively than walking at moderate pace, providing superior cardiovascular conditioning in a fraction of the time. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that seniors performing squat progressions achieved the same cardiovascular improvements as those walking for 3 times longer duration. Now let me address the elephant in the room. You might be thinking, I can barely get up from a chair without using my hands. How can I possibly do squats? This is where the beauty of the progression system reveals itself. The functional squat progression meets you exactly where you are and advances systematically as your strength and confidence improve. The progression begins with assisted squats using a stable chair or countertop for support. You simply practice the sitting and standing motion with assistance, focusing on proper form rather than depth or speed. As your strength improves, you progress to touching the chair seat without actually sitting, then to air squats with reducing assistance, and eventually to full bodyweight squats. Each stage of the progression can be maintained for weeks or months, depending on your individual response and comfort level. There's no pressure to advance quickly, and there's certainly no shame in remaining at a level that feels challenging but manageable. The key is consistent practice of the movement pattern at whatever level serves your current capabilities. The technique for the basic assisted squat is straightforward but crucial for safety and effectiveness. Stand facing away from a sturdy chair with your feet slightly wider than hip width apart. Keep your chest upright and your weight evenly distributed across both feet. Lower yourself by pushing your hips back first, as if reaching for the chair seat while keeping your knees tracking over your toes. Use the chair arms or a nearby countertop for balance support as needed. The lowering phase should be controlled and deliberate, taking approximately 3 to 4 seconds. This eccentric loading is particularly beneficial for building strength in seniors and helps develop the muscle control necessary for safe movement. The rising phase should be smooth and steady, focusing on pushing through your heels and engaging your glutes to return to standing. Breathing technique is equally important. Inhale as you lower into the squat position, allowing your ribcage to expand and your core muscles to engage naturally. Exhale as you rise, using the breath to help power the movement and maintain core stability. This breathing pattern not only supports the movement mechanically, but also helps regulate blood pressure and prevents dizziness. The frequency and duration of squat practice is refreshingly simple compared to step-counting regimens. Research indicates that performing 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions 3 times per week provides optimal benefits for seniors over 75. This means you can achieve superior results in approximately 15 minutes of focused movement compared to hours of daily walking. The progression timeline varies among individuals, but most seniors notice improvements within the first 2 weeks of consistent practice. Initial changes include easier chair transfers, improved confidence with stairs, and better overall energy throughout the day. Within 4 to 6 weeks, measurable improvements in balance, leg strength, and functional capacity become apparent. Real-world applications of improved squat function extend far beyond the exercise itself. Margaret, a 78-year-old retired teacher, discovered that her newfound squat strength allowed her to garden again without knee pain. She could lower herself to tend plants and rise without assistance, activities that had become impossible with her previous walking-only routine. Robert, an 81-year-old grandfather, found that his improved functional strength enabled him to play with his grandchildren on the floor for the first time in years. The ability to get down and back up safely opened up a world of interactions he thought were lost forever. His daughter noted that his confidence and mood improved dramatically as his physical capabilities expanded. The bone health benefits of squat progressions are particularly significant for seniors over 75. Weight-bearing exercise that involves loading the skeleton through its full range of motion provides superior bone-building stimulus compared to the lighter loading of walking. The squat pattern loads the hip, knee, and ankle joints in ways that promote bone density maintenance and potentially even improvement. Hormonal benefits also distinguish squats from walking in senior populations. The multi-muscle engagement and higher intensity nature of squat training stimulates greater release of growth hormone and other anabolic factors that support muscle maintenance and bone health. These hormonal responses decline with age, making activities that stimulate their release particularly valuable. The mental health advantages shouldn't be overlooked. The sense of accomplishment that comes from progressing through squat variations provides powerful psychological benefits. Many seniors report feeling more capable and independent as their functional strength improves, leading to increased participation in social activities and reduced anxiety about mobility limitations. Safety considerations are paramount when implementing any exercise program for seniors over 75. The squat progression should always be performed near stable support structures, and progression should never be rushed. Any pain, dizziness, or unusual symptoms should prompt immediate discontinuation and consultation with a healthcare provider. Certain medical conditions may require modifications or contraindications to squat training. Severe osteoporosis, recent joint replacements, or acute cardiovascular conditions necessitate medical clearance before beginning any new exercise program. However, for the majority of seniors over 75, properly progressed squat training is not only safe, but significantly safer than the fall risks associated with declining functional strength. The integration of squat progressions with daily activities amplifies the benefits and improves adherence. Rather than viewing squats as separate exercise sessions, you can incorporate the movement pattern into routine activities. Practice proper squat mechanics when getting up from chairs, rising from bed, or retrieving items from lower shelves. This functional integration helps bridge the gap between exercise and daily living, ensuring that the strength and movement patterns developed through squat practice transfer directly to improved quality of life. The goal isn't to become a fitness enthusiast, but to maintain the functional capacity necessary for independent, confident living. The economic implications of improved functional capacity through squat training are substantial. Maintaining strength and balance reduces the risk of falls, which are the leading cause of injury-related death in seniors over 75. The healthcare costs associated with fall-related injuries, including hip fractures and head trauma, can be devastating both financially and functionally. Prevention through functional strength training, like squat progressions, represents one of the most cost-effective health interventions available to seniors. The minimal equipment requirements and time investment make this approach accessible regardless of economic circumstances or geographic location. Environmental factors can enhance the effectiveness of squat training for seniors. Performing squats outdoors when weather permits provides additional sensory input that challenges balance and proprioception. The uneven surfaces and changing visual environment of outdoor settings add complexity that further improves functional capability. Social aspects of squat training can also be incorporated to improve motivation and adherence. Group classes specifically designed for senior squat progressions provide social interaction, mutual encouragement, and professional guidance. Many community centers and senior facilities are beginning to offer these specialized programs as awareness of their benefits spreads. The research supporting squat training over walking for seniors continues to expand. A landmark study published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity followed 200 adults over 75 for 6 months, comparing those who performed daily walks of 8,000 to 10,000 steps with those who performed progressive squat training 3 times per week. The squat group showed superior improvements in functional strength, balance confidence, and quality of life measures. Long-term adherence studies reveal another advantage of squat progressions over step counting. The definitive nature of completing a set number of repetitions provides clearer goal achievement than the often elusive step targets. Seniors report greater satisfaction with exercise sessions that have clear beginning and end points, rather than the ongoing pressure of step accumulation throughout the day. Technology integration can support squat training without the complexity often associated with fitness tracking devices. Simple smartphone apps that provide timing cues for movement tempo or count repetitions can be helpful without creating the obsessive tracking mentality that sometimes develops with step counting. The seasonal adaptability of squat training provides year-round consistency that walking programs often lack. Weather-dependent walking routines frequently suffer during winter months or extreme temperatures, leading to deconditioning and loss of progress. Indoor squat progressions maintain consistency regardless of external conditions. Nutritional considerations complement squat training for optimal results. The muscle-building stimulus of squat exercise increases protein requirements slightly, but most seniors can meet these needs through regular dietary intake without supplements. Adequate hydration becomes more important with strength training, as does timing of meals to support energy during exercise sessions. Recovery considerations for seniors performing squat progressions differ from younger adults. The 48 to 72-hour recovery period between squat sessions allows for complete muscle repair and adaptation. This recovery time often aligns naturally with the 3 times per week training frequency, making the program sustainable for long-term success. The progression modifications for common senior health conditions expand the accessibility of squat training. Seniors with arthritis can perform limited range of motion squats that still provide strength benefits without aggravating joint symptoms. Those with balance concerns can use multiple support points while still engaging the primary muscle groups. Medical professionals increasingly recognize the superiority of functional movements like squats over generic exercise recommendations for seniors. Physical therapists, in particular, have embraced squat progressions as primary interventions for improving functional capacity and preventing decline in older adults. The paradigm shift from quantity-based exercise like step counting to quality-based movement like squat progressions represents a fundamental change in how we approach senior fitness. Rather than pursuing arbitrary numerical goals, the focus shifts to meaningful improvements in functional capacity and quality of life. As we conclude this exploration of why the functional squat progression surpasses walking for seniors over 75, the evidence becomes clear. This single movement pattern addresses the primary health concerns of aging, muscle loss, balance decline, bone density reduction, and functional independence. It does so more efficiently, safely, and effectively than hours of daily walking. The transformation possible through consistent squat practice extends beyond physical improvements to encompass confidence, independence, and overall life satisfaction. The ability to move through daily activities with strength and assurance provides a foundation for continued engagement with life's opportunities and challenges. Remember, it's never too late to begin building the functional strength that supports vibrant aging. Whether you're 75, 85, or beyond, your body retains the remarkable ability to adapt and strengthen in response to appropriate challenge. The functional squat progression provides that challenge in a safe, progressive, and highly effective manner. Start where you are, progress at your own pace, and prepare to be amazed by what your body can achieve. The journey from simply counting steps to building functional strength represents more than a change in exercise routine. It represents a commitment to thriving, not just surviving, in the years ahead. 7. Blood tests your doctor orders, but you don't need. After 65, Dr. Evelyn Hart explains.